Restoring Men in History today, a magnificent one. Big famous battle, Hannibal versus Scipio Africanus. Amazing famous battle with life lessons in it for you. And we really want you to pick up the life lessons. We're looking at the Battle of Zama, 202 BC, where Scipio Africanus crushed Hannibal, ending the Second Punic War. Not just two armies fighting, two magnificent generals opposing each other. So it's a showdown. Grit, determination, who win, heart, genius. B.H. Lytle Hart's Scipio Africanus Greater Than Napoleon from 1926 is one of our books today. Polybius, The Histories is another book, and I've read some of their accounts as well, but we're going to focus mainly with these two. Might add some of the others if I think of it. But you'll get the story of Zama, plus 3 life lessons to improve what? Leadership, your life strategy. So you can get both these books free online. For more information to research it, which reading is fantastic, we advise reading the books. So, October 202 BC, near Zama, modern Tunisia. Second Punic War has raged for about 16 years. Carthage has their master general, Hannibal. He's devastated Rome at Cannae, but now he's forced to defend their own territory. Across from him, that's right, the great Roman general Scipio Africanus, Rome's big star, rising star, conquered Spain, brought the fight to Africa. Lytle Hart calls Zama not merely a battle, but a test of 2 philosophies of war. Scipio had brought the war to Africa, Polybius writes, compelling Hannibal to follow. Now, before the battle, Hannibal tried to negotiate peace, but Scipio believed he was going to win. He believed victory was coming, so he didn't accept it. Some sources say it really wasn't a great offering by Hannibal, so I'll add that in. It's not this one, I don't think, but one of them did. So what's the setup? Hannibal's got around 40,000 men, but he's got 80 war elephants ready to go up front, which is pretty disturbing if you're a little soldier in the field. You're looking at 80 elephants coming at you, right? Then the 3 lines, Gallic, Ligurian mercenaries, and Carthaginian levies, and his entire elite, veterans, about 12,000 strong, according to some sources. His Numidian and Carthaginian cavalry, 4,000 total, guard the flanks, but his army is a mess, according to sources. Raw recruits, grumpy, angry mercenaries, and barely trained elephants. Polybius calls it a patchwork of mercenaries, levies, and veterans. Scipio commands 35,000. He's got Roman legions, Italian allies, and the big thing that a lot of sources mentioned were this game-changing 6,000 Numidian cavalry under King Massinissa. By the way, this guy was with the Carthaginians, but according to some sources, 2 things happen. Scipio does well with diplomacy with him, gets him on their side. He also notices that he believes Scipio is going to win. I mean, Scipio has won in Spain. The Numidian horse were the hinge of victory, Hart writes. And Polybius adds, Massinissa was a masterstroke of diplomacy. So they're complementing diplomacy. So think about how that could apply in your life. Where can you do better with diplomacy and building allies? Because we want you to learn from this. Scipio's legion, 3 lines. But here's the real genius they talk about, and he's dealt with elephants before. He created lanes through which elephants might pass. Let the beast charge through. He also armed his men with Spanish short swords and trained them in flexible tactics, stealing Hannibal's playbook, right? So let's talk about the battle. Hannibal unleashes his 80 elephants. Terrifying wall. Think about that coming at you. The elephants, maddened by the blare of trumpets, rush down the open lanes or turn back on their own lines. Now, what's happening here? I've read about this. This is interesting. So you got these elephants charging, men got to be terrified, right? But, and he's dealt with elephants before, he created this theory of open lane. So he gives the elephants an open lane to go to. Now, as they go through that open lane, they're still killing them. Or they can come straight at soldiers where they're directly killing them. Or they can turn back to the Carthaginians where they're not being shot at. So some of them went back, and Polybius writes, the elephants were met with trumpets and shouts, causing many to turn back in confusion. I'll just give you a few quotes. Scipio's lanes and horn signals were very effective. So he had a very effective strategy that he executed well again. So some of them turned back, right? They're being shot at from here. So some of them went back and they smashed the left wing of Carthage's line. Not great, not fantastic. And then what happened? Massiniss's Numidians charged and they routed some of the horsemen, while Laelius' Roman cavalry drove off the Carthaginian right. So the big play, the elephant threat, was neutralized and dead in minutes. Stroke of genius, Hart calls it. Scipio rendered the elephants ineffective. So now what do we got? We got the infantry are about to clash, right? That's next. Elephants are gone. Infantries collide. Hannibal's mercenaries hit Scipio's, and they're fighting hard, but what happens? We talk about this quality a lot. Discipline. The Roman discipline wins out over the other infantry. Polybius notes, Carthaginian levies stood aloof, so something was amiss, right? Leaving the mercenaries to their fate, either by Hannibal's plan or poor coordination. Scipio's troops then reinforce, crushing the first two lines. So Hart said Hannibal's stratagem was too subtle for the mixed army. Now Hannibal's elite, these are the guys, the elite veterans, step up. It's Hannibal's last hope. It's their last hope. Scipio, these guys are tired, one of the books says. So he pulls them back, this is brilliant, and reforms his legions into a single line to match them. Drew off his troops, reformed them in a single line, and extended his front. So it's a bold move, right? And it leveled the field for a big showdown. Which one's going to win? Well, these are veterans now going up each veterans, they lock swords. It was a brutal stalemate. What happens? What happens in some movies? The cavalry comes. Scipio's cavalry seals the deal. Massinissa and Laelius, after chasing off the enemy horsemen, swing back and hit Hannibal's rear. Quote, the Roman cavalry fell upon the enemy's rear and the veterans were cut to pieces. Hart said, the Numidian horse swept in and Hannibal's army was caught as in a vice. It's a pincer. Hannibal's own tactic turned against him that he used at Cannae to beat the Romans. And some of these pronunciations I may have wrong. Apologize for that, but there's a lot of different words I don't use a lot of times. I just read things. I read books. So Carthage, what happens? Some sources say he lost 20,000 men. Rome lost just 2,000, some sources say. So Hannibal flees with just a handful of survivors. Big, huge defeat. Scipio's triumph is complete. Carthage surrenders. Scipio's terms strip their navy and territories outside of Africa, and most of their navy and all territories outside of Africa. So Hart praised his humanity as well, because that was as great as his strategy, he says. He didn't give him a harsh treaty, and that showed foresight and also courage, and you want to have foresight and courage. So Scipio achieved a victory that secured Rome's supremacy, and it earned him a title. What was the title? Africanus. But jealous rivals, by the way, later drove him into exile. Jealousy. So life lessons, let's get to that. Number one, prepare like your life depends on it. Prepare like your life depends on it. Confidence was his greatest weapon, one of the authors said. He planned for elephants with lanes, and he secured Massinissa way ahead for when he needed him. So what does success start with, gentlemen? Preparation, right? You want to prepare, prepare, prepare. Research. Do your homework. Research your field, practice your craft, get better and better and better. Build alliances now so they're ready. Whether it's a job, you're going for a job pitch, fitness goal, you want to gain 5 pounds of muscle, whatever it is, preparation gives you the edge. So let's do an action step with this. Spend 1 hour today preparing, study for that interview, plan your week, do research, read a great book that will prepare you for what you're about to do or achieve in life, build a skill, or connect with a mentor. Prep like Scipio, and you'll win before the fight starts, right, gentlemen? Lesson number 2, adapt when the stakes are high. What did he do? He was adapt. adapting to the battlefield. A lot of great generals are adapting to the battlefield and the circumstances. Business leaders adapt. You're going to have problems, right? Mid-battle pivot, remember that? He formed them into a single line, right? Reformed them. Hart called it a stroke of genius. He adjusted rapidly. Life can be chaotic. You're going to have crises at home, crises at work, personal setbacks. You're going to meet obstacles. You're going to face challenges. So how are you going to see them? As an opportunity to rise? But what does it demand? Flexibility. Stay calm, assess, and pivot to win. Next time you're stuck, pause, think, reflect, and try one new approach. That's the action step. We'll give you an action step. Adjust your business plan if you have to. Switch up your workout. Rethink a problem. Adapt like Scipio and turn chaos into what? Victory. Conquer it. Lesson 3. Win with heart, not just strength. So those lenient peace terms that we talked about. His humanity was as great as his strategy was a quote. Also shows a leader that wins respect, not just battles. So what's a big lesson? RMH talks about it all the time. True success builds loyalty through kindness and integrity. So lift others up and do what you say. Do one kind act a day. That's your action step. Help a friend. Listen to a friend. Go over a problem with them. Take out a whiteboard to a cigar bar somewhere and write down what that person wants to accomplish in his life, whatever his goals are, all his goals, and put them on a board. And then put his business goals on a board. I do it all the time. Go over with a friend, go over their goals. Help them with a problem or something else. Just be kind and help them with a problem. Or just listen to them. Talk about a problem. You'll learn trust that lasts. So that's Zama. Scipio's epic win over the great General Hannibal. From preparation to adaptability to heart, Scipio shows you how to conquer. Start today. Prep for one goal. Pivot on a tough spot. Show someone you care or be kind to someone. Comment on your favorite lesson here. Hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for weekly videos. Thank you. We appreciate you watching. We know your time is valuable.